All right, so as I promised, we're gonna now have inside view, a cockpit view of how to fly chopper and Mach BF6. So before we start, let's do a quick overview of what we've seen, right? The the there are, I'll say, 4 to 5 important indications. So top right is your orientation from north, east, west, and south, right? Northeast, south, and west, and in the middle. So those numbers are what they mainly use about physics. So like northeast, they use numbers to help you indicate in the 2D type of orientation of where you are or where you're going. Now, at on the right, there says the -0. That's your altitude. You see, as you go higher, it also goes higher. And paired with it on the left is your speed in KST. That's knots, right? I think they say knots. Sorry, if I mispronounce it. I think someone would probably correct me in the comment section below. So basically, on the right, you have your altitude. Let's go very high to see the difference. As we go higher, we will start seeing the difference. You see, I'm going 100, 150, 170, 180, 200 now. But my speed is maybe around 19 now, 20. But we're in between, let's say 19 and 30. Okay, it's now catching up. So now I'm climbing to almost 400 meters up in the sky, and my speed is just 50, right? My speed is now 40. Okay, so let's go back on the ground. Let's go right quick on the ground. That way I could show you something else. Okay, I'm gonna land anywhere that I could find. That way I could show you this. Actually, I should land somewhat flat. All right. Look at this. No, that's not very flat. That's not. You know what? We have to land on a base. So last video, I showed you how to land. So this is not gonna be a difficulty for you to do that, right? All right, now here's exactly what I wanted to show you. You see the dotted line in the middle of the screen? That is your orientation, right? In the middle, you have the crosshair that will help you aim, and also there is a square bracket type of sign, also help you aim. So you are on a flat ground, so you have perfect stability, right? And this is how perfect stability should look like when it's achieved. So both, I mean, all three together are almost merged in the middle of the screen. So the dash line for your orientation, the crosshair, and the square bracket, they almost fall all together in the middle of the screen. So they're not perfectly they should fall in the middle of the square bracket, but because there is some slight inclination on the tail, so that's why it's a bit up. Okay, so basically that's how you would achieve perfect stability. So let's go up for you to be perfectly stable in the air, this is exactly how you would do it. But now that we're not on the ground, to make sure you are stable on your walls, the dash line should be very much parallel to the horizon. Okay, and as you already saw earlier, so to make sure that, so this was for your wall, for your tilt, you need to move the crosshair slightly a little bit up like this to be almost around the middle of the square bracket. So if you tilt to the left or go left, the dash line would incline up a little bit for the opposite direction, and if you go right, it would show up like this as well, right? Now if you go up, the dash line would try to be going down to your to the bottom of your screen, and if you are going down, the dash line would actually try to move up until it entirely disappears, right? Same if you go down. If you're pitching up, it would go down till it is disappeared, and then whenever you want to be stable again, you just do that. If you exit, you will see that the vehicle is like almost perfectly stable. What's moving it right now is just the wind and gravity, and the fact that you don't have a computer on board as a assistant in you, right? So now we know how to measure our altitude, which is right now 360, around 150 and 160, and we also know our speed, which is right now around between 10 and 25, right? And we know how to maintain our altitude. We could just now going forward. To go forward, you just make sure that the dash line is way up the screen, maybe around where your orientation is, north, east, south, and west. And as you're trying to yaw, you will see that those numbers, they are also changing from 0 to 300. So basically, if you are going around 0, let me say, behind you would be between let's say 180 to 110, 210, right? Okay, I think that's the most important. 0 is opposite is 0 is 180 degrees. Perfectly makes sense. Yeah, 0 opposite of 0 is 180 degrees, like like almost half of a turnaround, right? Now if 0 is north, I would say somewhere like 40 around this line is 9, is right. The opposite would be around this line, I would say. This is not very important, to be honest. It's just like when you ping somewhere, so you ping right now between 240 and 270. Your teammate, you can tell them, oh, high ping around 240, and they would just look around and see it. Okay, and no worries about the ping not staying. It's just because this is a training environment. Okay, now show your orientation. Now to land, you would need to learn the Freelook. So because you're inside the vehicle, when you press N or hold the down arrow, Freelook does that. You turn your head first, and sometimes the vehicle then go ahead and also turn around. Okay, that's what Freelook does. Okay, with that Freelook, the entire vehicle turn around with your head, with Freelook, you watch first where you're landing or who's next to you, and then you do whatever you want to do. Same this, the camera transfers, and then the chopper start like try to follow. All right, so let's go a bit um, further away. We tilt, you see the dash disappears and you're facing down. Keep in mind of your altitude, okay? To be safe while you are in that position, I would say that you don't need to pull up very much, but once you are around 30, you see 30 is very, even 40 is very low because this is a mountain. 30 is very close. I would say 30 is the yellow line, is the yellow indication for you to know that you have to start pulling up. 20 is red. If you're around 20, you're crashing. You need to pull hard, very hard. And 10, well, 10, you're basically landing. If you didn't intend to land, you're crashing. You're gonna die. Alright, so let's go up right quick. Because we are going down to go up, you need to make sure that the dash line is a little bit down the screen. Alright, we're going up. So now let's go down fast. Alright. See? It's very easy for you to go down. You need to start learning your altitude. That way, when you're shooting at someone on the ground, you don't go ahead and crash without knowing. So knowing these little details can definitely help you stay a bit longer in the air until the jet gets you down. Okay, I'm going down. So first thing I do before I pull up is that I was facing down. I'll go ahead and rearrange my orientation for the dash line to be in the middle of the screen, and then I pull up. Okay. Remember, the closer the dash line is to the crosshair, it is the most accurate orientation for the pitch, and the more you keep the dash line parallel to the horizon, that's the most accurate you could get, is the closest accuracy you could get to your roll left and right stability. Okay, you can see right now, if you look at it, I'm right like this. I'm very parallel to the ground. Okay, still moving around because there is a real gravity, but I'm not really going up nor down. All right. Let me land right quick. See how I land? Boom. Hey, if you watched this so far, thank you so much for watching the entire video. Remember to like and subscribe. This has been a lot of information that you have to process. And I know that you may have forgotten to like and subscribe. Remember right now to do it. And stay tuned for the next video, which is right here. Like right here. All right. Click on it and see you next.